Hey y'all, it's your girl Meesh, and welcome to a new year of the episode Love Meesh podcast, where I share my thoughts, opinions, and ramblings, and sometimes I'll have guests, but no subject is off limits. It's a billion people in the world, and I'm just one of them. So welcome to my world, and let the conversation continue.
I am a witch. A real, house-haunting, broom-riding, cauldron-stirring witch.
Hey loves, welcome back to another episode of Love Meesh podcast, and we are continuing on with part 3 of Witchy as Fuck. It is a subject that I am studying on my spiritual journey. If you have been following my other podcasts, I'm an ominous. There's no religion that I won't look into or learn from. I think there's a truth in every lie and a lie in every truth. So that's my personal journey. I honestly think that if we are children of God or whomever created us, then we are little images of he or she. And that means if they were able to make a whole planet with human beings, come on, y'all. There's things that we aren't tapping into, or very few of us are. And so I think there is magic, energy, spirit, chi, whatever you want to call it, in our DNA. And I feel like it is dormant, and we have to activate it and remember why we're here and make sure that we do what we're supposed to do on our journey before we transition on to the next phase of existence. So I just love to learn. I love to share. I never keep anything to myself. I completed my master's degree. I just love to learn so much. I would have continued on to my doctorate, but you guys, the way them student loans is looking, let me just stop while I'm ahead, because I'm sitting on a house right now, literally. But I have learned, thankfully, that you can learn for free. YouTube, books. Like when I think about my college experience, you literally are giving a syllabus. You're giving books that you're going to use, and you are taught lessons out of those books. Not by the professors, because I was online, but I was literally told to read chapter 1, 2, do the questions, and take the test. I'm literally self-teaching myself, and you're literally guiding me. If I already know the subject that I want to learn, I can guide myself. So that's where I am now. I don't need to be up my ass in debt just to get a piece of paper when learning is free. Knowledge is free already. You just use your phone, use your computer, use Google, whatever, buy books, and the knowledge is there. But I will say, depending on your career, those degrees can definitely open doors that will be shut in everybody else's face. I can say that with 100% honesty and truth. In the government world, they ask how many years you have of experience, and they ask about degrees. And I feel like I got offered the position I'm in right now for the sake of my degree. They may not have known anything about Jamisha, but she has a master's. That means A, she can be taught something and learn it with a passing grade. B, the cost did not scare her. And C, she could have stopped at an AA or a BA, but she kept going to an MA. So she's determined. It literally just shows them different characteristics about you. Oh, and D, she's going to need to make money because, hell, she's going to have to pay back this shit. So she's not going to be settling for a low-paying job. So it just gives them an overall idea of who you are. But my best friend has been in her job for 10 years, and my degree will hold the same weight as her years. So I'm not saying that you can't use these positions, because I think she can go apply for another job right now, and they'll see 10 years, they'll hire her on the spot because she's dedicated. And so they both basically say dedication. You either give a company 10 years for dedication, or you go get a degree for dedication. But it both will put you on the next level on the recruitment list, basically. But that's not what this is about. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me reel it back in. So on the last podcast, I stopped at air because I feel like I'm an air witch, or I resonate with a lot of these. And I think it's things that she don't even list that you could be, because I feel like I'm a love witch. I love everything love. And it's actually a movie. I'm going to go over a movie list with you guys, and I'm actually going to watch all those movies because I haven't. But let me continue with the elements since that's where I left off at on the last podcast, part 2. So on part 3, let's pick it right up. So this is the type of witch is elemental. So this is the earth witch. They work with the elements of the earth, grounds and centers easily. They work with plants, herbs, flowers, and trees. They connect deeply with nature and animals. They enjoy wildcrafting and gardening. They're eco-friendly. They enjoy working with crystals and stones. They create natural remedies and medicine. Usually interested in the fae and folklore. Zodiac signs are Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. Other names are Green Witch, Garden Witch, Floral Witch, Crystal Witch, Swamp Witch, Forest Witch, and Desert Witch. So again, don't let these names scare you. They translate into different things. So that was Earth. I have another one on Earth. So this one says, a witch with the gift of earth can manipulate plants, animals, and rocks and earth and the weather. He or she is usually nurturing, stable, and trustworthy. Their color is green. The plants are mosses and lynches. Their stones are coral, emerald, and peridot. So you know what that remind me of? That's my second time seeing peridot. I usually see things in 3. So I see it one more time, I freak out. You know how we be saying period? It's kind of spelled like that, and it freaks me out. Like Peridot. I don't know. We'll see. Because I get things in 3. Let's just say I pay attention at 3. I'm probably getting millions of messages a day. But it probably catch my eye. Like, oh no, this is the 3rd time I done seen this. And it's so crazy, y'all. I'm going to have like a fairy wedding. Like, I've changed so much. Like, people often say, oh, I miss the old you. Then I don't want anything to do with you. Because if you're okay with how I was before, to me, that means you don't respect my growth, my maturity. Like, I would never say I miss the old you. Like, I'm glad you grow and evolved and changed. Whether I accept that change or not, it was beneficial to you, or you would not have grown to that level. That's like me telling my plant, why you got so tall? I miss you when you were small, or your puppy, or your kid, your baby. Why you ain't still crawling? Why you walking and running and riding a bike? Like, why would you doubt somebody's growth? I would never tell somebody that. So anyways, that could be a whole nother podcast. But I am who I am today. I'm going to continue to change. So if you don't like the changes that you've seen, just stop right now, because it's only going to progress. There's only going to be more changes now. And if you can't deal with the changes that I have come to as of yet, then you're definitely not ready for the changes that are ahead, because I feel like life is a stepping stone. I will not be given the keys of a car until I have, like, look, the steps that it took for me to get a car. I took driver's ed. I had to pass the test in the classroom. We practiced every day in class. I went and took the actual test online, and passed. No, we didn't have to do it online because I did it in the classroom. So, passed the driver's test with the actual man. No, I failed with the actual man. I don't know why, because I didn't turn the radio down. Fuck. And it wasn't even loud. And then my teacher said, you know what? I'm going to give this to you anyway, but just slow down out there. And he's so right, because I always be in a motherfucking hurry. But the point that I'm trying to make is, in life, it's not just going to be saying, oh, Demisha, this is your magic. Use it. I'll probably be abusing the fuck out of that right now. I'll be like, bitch, give me a bench and like just usefulness. But if you break it down in itty bitty pieces and feed it to me, by the time I get there to handle the gift, I'll be able to use it more wisely. So I'm okay with that. Like, if I was just given the keys, like drive, I would have gotten an accident and died. It was steps that it took for me to drive. And then what? My parents bought me a car and all this other stuff and da 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 da. Like, if I didn't have all of that practice every day in class and I just got in the car and drove, I would have been dead. Like, now I'm in the process of getting a home. It just gave me a home years ago. I probably would not have appreciated it. I probably would have messed up my credit even more. Shit, the house probably would have been foreclosed on, to be honest with you, for not properly managing my finances. So no matter how long it takes me to get there, I know I'm going to appreciate it more when I get there. I've been learning more about my credit and getting my credit score there. At my job, I have a savings account. Whatever I put in there, my job will match. So, a lot of things that people, like some people, I was doing credit repair, had to stop because of my job. Some people had the credit score, but when it came to having a down deposit or money, they didn't have anything saved up. So yeah, they were further than me as far as the credit to get a home, but they lacked one part to where I will be ready when I finally get there. I should be able to check everything off my list. So I'm not rushing it. I'm going to love my home. I'm going to have my fucking pole room, my motherfucking master bedroom, master closet, his and her. If he don't hurry up, it'll just be motherfucking her and her. I'm going to let my nieces and nephews pick rooms and decorate. Probably a boy room and a girl room because there's fucking too many of them. It's over 10. I have an office for my store. I have my garden. I can have my cats and my dogs. Shit, I might get a baby cow, turtle. Who knows? It might be a fucking farm. However, I'm going to enjoy where I am right now and take care of the space that I have right now. Clean the space that I have right now. Properly manage the space that I have right now, so that I can constantly let universe know, hey, she's responsible with this. She could definitely be responsible with more. So anyways, that was a whole nother podcast. Sorry, y'all. So that was Earth. Now we can get to, I already talked about air, fire. Element fire. Fire witch works with the element of fire. They enjoy doing candle magic. Strong, brave, and courageous. Burning items is often done in their work. They enjoy scarring into flames. My best friend's been doing this. You can look at the flame and get different divinations and visions and stuff. And matter of fact, divination is so weird in the book that I was reading about, the Watten's Dictionary of Magic. When you look at divination, you can look at the patterns of birds and it gives a message. You could look at the power. You could kill an animal and look at the way the blood flow and get a message. It was so many different things. Like, what? You can get a message from that? Fire was one of them. It just was like so many. On the divination, I was like, okay, well, how many divinations are there? And I don't think he's going to end either. I think it's just going to keep going. But yeah, matter of fact, let me see. Let me go to D for divination and see if it come up. Let me see if it lists all of them. Divination. The act of foretelling the future by interpreting omens. Among the many forms of divination are the predictions based on symbols of tarot cards, the fall of dice, yarrow sticks, colored beans, the configuration of natural phenomena such as clouds or winds, the movements of birds, and other living creatures. See, I told you. Okay, so that's just one. They enjoy the sun's energy. They work with spicy ingredients like peppers. They love the outdoor bonfire. They specialize in banishing, purification, truth, love, and lust magic. The zodiac signs are Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. They are related to the draconic witch. That shit keep coming up. Now, I told y'all I got a book on dragons, droids, Dracon, all the same. Don't let these words fool you. Sex witch and the solar witch. Fire. Okay. So, let's see. Let me give you a little bit more about fire. A witch with the gift of fire can manipulate and create fire. He or she is usually passionate, emotional, and has a bad temper. The color red. Their plants is bougainvillea, pine, chili peppers, and coffee. Their stones are lava, quartz, and garnet. Let's see. And water. I think my sister's a water witch. Works with the element of water. Is at peace near any body of water. They usually believe in mermaids. Perform bath and shower rituals often. Collects all types of water. Works with fish, sharks, and dolphins. Usually seashells, seaweed, and driftwood. They enjoy storms and work with energy. They work with water spirits and guides. The zodiac sign is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. They are related to the sea witch, the ice witch, and the weather witch. Okay, let me keep going with water. Let's see. A witch with the gift of the water can manipulate, control, and sense water in all forms. He or she is loving and calm. Water witches are skilled with psychic abilities, healing, creating potions, and scrying, seeing the future. Their color is blue. The plants are the water lilies, seaweed, rose, and gardenia. The stones are shells, amethyst, and aquamarine. I thought that was so cool. So on this list, it was 2 more because there are more elements. I thought I heard something. Let me turn on the air really quick. I'd be torn between hot and cold. Oh, I got my I always have YouTube on, and in the living room is rain. I love sounds. Okay, so we have mind. So let me click on this one. A witch with the gift of mind can sense or feel others' emotions, intentions, and the kind of person someone is. Occasionally, a mind witch can hear thoughts. He or she is logical, sympathetic, and a problem solver. The color is purple. Their plants are peppermint, anise, and cinnamon. Their stones are amethyst and lapis. I think I'm a mind witch, but we're gonna do another podcast on that, because I swear I be hearing things now, and I'm like, am I going crazy? I think my sister had came up one day, and I was like, do you hear that? She was like, what? And then the next one is a witch with the gift of dreams. And they see the past, the present, and the future in their dreams. Oh my God, y'all, I'm about to fall out. A dreamer has a connection to the outer world, to the other world, or the world beyond our own. And a few have the rare power of spirits, or the ability to see and talk to the ghosts of the dead. He or she is intelligent, caring, and observant. The color is white. The plants is lavender and lemongrass, and the stone is moonstone. Bitch. I just blew my own mind. And I don't care what religion or faith you in, they all have gifts. So, somebody lying. That's all I got to say. Somebody's motherfucking lying. So let's go over the types of witches series. And this is from Witchy Tips on Instagram. She's amazing. I love her page. Okay, so the types of witches are solitary witch. They practice alone. Coven witch. They practice in a coven or a group. Secular. They do not follow any religion. Religious witch. They follows their personal religion. Animal witch. A witch who connects with a specific animal or all animals. A sex witch. A witch who manifests magic from sex. Draconic witch. I keep bumping into this. A witch who works with dragons. Swamp witch lives within swamps and uses swamps, plants, dirt, and animals. A desert witch lives within the desert, uses dirt, plants, sand, and animals. Then we have electric witch. One of the most popular types. Electric means deriving ideas, styles, and tastes from a broad range of sources. They takes interest in any type of witch. They may love herbs, wildcrafting, and gardening, and they may love cooking, baking, and cleaning. They may love astrology and astronomy. They can follow any type of religious path, and no, not one electric witch is the same. It's a personalized journey and a path. This is most definitely me, electric. My journey is my own. Okay, so it's like the golden corral of the witches. I can put whatever I want on my plate. Types of witches, the dark side. Okay, so remember I was saying there was different sides. So this is the dark side. It's a narcomy witch, a witch who uses divination through contacting the dead. A death witch, a witch whose main focus is death work, such as spiritual work, resurrections, etc. Did not Jesus resurrect Lazarus? Resurrect. Isn't that in the Bible? Resurrect Lazarus. Okay. Why don't people understand this? And in my dragon book, it said Jesus' blood was in that dragon too. And whatever dragon's supposed to be code for, draconic or whatever. But that's okay. I'm going to keep getting my puzzle pieces. Okay, so dark arts witch, a witch who practices black magic and or works with evil entities. Most or all three of these types work with items such as bones, graveyard dirt, bugs, rotten plants, blood, etc. Most or all three of these types practice forms of divination to speak to the dead. Did not, before one of them wars, was it Saul, Paul, one of them kings, after they wanted to kill them all, asked, was anyone alive that spoke to death? They found one and asked if he was going to win the war and said that he would surely die. Did not he die? Okay, so why are you killing people for their special gifts that God gave them? This is what I don't respect with any religion. God gave us these powers. We're born with this. Just like you're born black, white, Asian. You didn't ask, or maybe you did. But the point is, how can you blame someone for what they are? Especially gifts that were handed to them for the Creator. You're going to murder them and call it devil, call it sorcery? How can you be a devil or sorcery with something that you're born with? Birth itself comes from God. So who's the real sorcerer? You, for killing God's creation. It's like they really have life twisted. They really have life fucked up. And everybody need to get this shit together before they die. Because a lot of people are on the wrong side of this war. And it's going to be so sad when the truth is revealed. And it was right at your fingertips. And you just didn't read. We're not slaves anymore. Read. I'm surprised by how many people don't read. But you know, all the drama on TV, you know, all the celebrity business, well, you could be focusing on getting your business together, focusing on getting your life together, focusing on learning more about life in general and your health and being a better parent or whatever. But what? We give our energy to everything else instead of focusing on ourselves. That's why a lot of us are where we are in life. Not focusing on what we should focus on. It's really simple. Okay, so that's the dark side. We have a glamour witch. They work with beauty, love, self-love spells, enjoys makeup, perfume, enchanting it. Often a fan of baths, ritual baths. They work with deities like Aphrodite. They love roses and beautiful flowers. They work with beauty and sex manifestation. They make do-it-yourself soaps and cosmetics. They love rose quartz. They connect with delicate animals, pink, red, and girly aesthetic. This is so me, y'all. And I'm gonna look at that movie. It's called Love Witch. I'm gonna go over the movie list in a minute. A divination witch. They love to work with all forms of divination, tarot, runes, scrying, candle wax, pendulums. They often collect crystals. They use flames and water to scry. They communicate with spirits. Witchy aesthetic, fashion. Has a favorite tarot deck. Cleanses divination items in the full moon. They're great at meditating and grounding. Some divination witches are also psychics. So to me, divination is just tapping into the other world. And some people can do that. I'm going to do a podcast on that. And some of us can't. Types of witches, aesthetics. Artistic witch. Witches who put magic into their art. Drawing, instruments, painting, writing, handworking. Very creative. They enjoy do-it-yourself craft projects. They use charged waters, herbs, and oils in their art. They make their own candles and soaps. They usually have a fancy grimoire. Effortlessly write their own chants, songs, and blessings. They incorporate music into their spell work. Elaborate artistic altar setup. The artistic witch. I think my best friend from elementary, Uriel, is an artistic witch and she doesn't even know it. Types of witches. So this is the gray. So we just did dark. Now this is gray. They embrace light and dark powers. They're all about balance, yin and yang. They often work with the spirits. They often use some form of divination. They practice both white and black magic. Neutral force in the world. Not afraid to express their opinions. Most definitely not. Often do not believe in karma. Now I do believe in karma. And I do think people manipulate it too. And I think that's the bad thing about life. Like if you know so much, you can manipulate it. Like let's say I'm a cop. Now I'm out here being a bad cop because I know what rules I can break and bend. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully you get an analogy. They believe a witch who cannot curse can't heal. Ooh. That is so good. So let me put that in layman's terms. This whole coronavirus that was man-made, you cannot make a disease without a cure. So you mean tell me all these fucking people died and somebody somewhere is sitting on a cure? For example, I'm not going to make a whole car and there's not mechanics around to fix it. That means if my car break down, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, that definitely makes sense. You don't make anything without the other part of it. Oh my God. So anyways, nature is balanced. And that is what we call a gray witch. And Brother Yusuf on YouTube, he talks about this as well. He said he was really deep into the black witch, and then he feel like he's on the gray path. But I think he knows it, but he doesn't really. He's on to something else. He has evolved to something else, but he still know his shit. And that's how he's opened up a school, and I can't wait to join. I'm so excited. I told you I was going to have a wall with all my teachers on it so that I can give them proper prayer. Although I do it in my mind and my heart, I want to physically have a place for them in my home as well. So let's see. We have a country witch. Let's see how much time we got. Okay, so we're good on time. A country witch is a witch who resides in the countryside. I'm sorry, let me go back. Oh no, I'm right. Similar to the green witch or cottage witch, they usually has grown up on a farm. They have deep love for animals. They love being outside in nature. They're hardworking. They're good at physical labor. They're good at everything from cooking, baking, gardening, crafting, and cleaning. They're just a jack of all trades. They're not a fan of the city. They find peace in silence. They're eco-friendly. And they usually practice everything a green witch does, such as herbalism, wildcrafting, oils, and crystals. What is related to the country witch, the green witch, the cottage witch, the hearth witch, and the kitchen witch? I love this. And I'm not going to put myself in one category because I think I'm going to learn them all, because I just think we have just become lazy. Why aren't you a jack of all trades? Whether you do it or not, I could go out to eat, but I bet I can get in that kitchen and cook. I think that's how it should be. But to have a cabinet full of noodles is ridiculous. Like, learn how to care for yourself. That's a form of self-love. Feeding yourself. But okay, so here's something else. A city witch. They live in a city. They have to learn to practice in a loud, fast-paced environment. They have to learn to improvise in their craft because of the city. Plants and gardens are at a minimum. They usually can't do outdoor rituals. They're adapted to small working areas. They can easily turn everyday items witchy. They usually use technology in their craft. They have easy access to metaphysical shops. They have to bring the outdoors inside. What is related to a city witch, a tech witch, and a minimum witch? Let's see. A cosmic witch. They utilize the planetary and celestial energies. They study astrology and astronomy. This includes meteors, supernovas, black hole, galaxies, etc. in their crafting. They use astrology as a form of divination. They often are skilled at astral travel. They worship the planets themselves. They usually believe in aliens. Planetary alignments and positions, lunar cycles, days of the week, and planetary hours play a big part in their craft. It's related to the lunar witch and the solar witch. I feel like I'm a bit of all of them, y'all. Types of witches. Hereditary witch. Exactly what it sounds like. Born into a family of witches, follows personal traditions of the family, has a wise and skilled ancestor, taught magic from a young age, family grimoire was passed down, very family oriented, born and raised into the witchcraft, nothing to do with their bloodline, aspire to have children to pass on the craft. What is related to the hereditary witch, the hedge witch, and the granny witch? See what I mean? A lady that was a witch for 5 generations. And honestly, when I was watching a lot of documentaries on YouTube, the woman was like there was no medicine man. It was a woman. If someone having a baby, a woman. If someone was hurt, a woman. A lot of nurses, women. So the woman, not only did she cook, she was the healer. She raised the kids. It was like men just wanted to be out fighting all the time. Like, the woman literally held down the home. Like, his ass wasn't around. Pretty sure she had to fix things and everything because men were always out, like, at war. So who's home doing every fucking thing? The woman. So I felt like when the war stopped and when the men were coming back home, like, there was like really no place for them. Like, the woman was literally doing everything. And so men, and a lot of cultures, I don't even think they called it witchcraft at the time, but the craft or just these secrets, it was for women only. And I think men despise that. So what did they do? A few of them started writing books talking about the devil and witchcraft and women. And it got to the courts. And you know how religion and politics and faith are supposed to be separate? Well, they have been combined for a very long time, you guys, if you look at history. Because me being a witch has nothing to do with you telling me that I've committed treason or something trying to kill me. Or religion shouldn't care about the fucking devil. You should be making laws and making sure nobody's stealing and different stuff like that. The fuck, if she was around a fire with the devil, what does that have to do with you? No, I feel like men were intimidated. And a lot of these women were old, not young. A lot of them were old and wise with all of that knowledge. Like, yes, she's going to have knowledge. She's fucking 70 years old. She's going to learn how to get a plant and brew some tea and to heal you. And you know what I mean? A wonderful midwife. And just, she's lived for a very long time. So, of course, she's learned a lot of this stuff. That generally is what happens when you live alone. A lot of old people are wise. But, and then a lot of them, another thing they were saying is a lot of the old women were single. And so the burden to care for them because they couldn't work fell on the neighbors and stuff. And they didn't want to care for them. So they came up with this way to kind of like demonize them and kill them. And the reason why it became a lot of women, let's say old granny was called a witch. So they would take her and torture her, and all these torture things that they would do was ridiculous, you guys. Like, they would start at her toe. Well, first they would look for a mark on her body. It could be a fucking mole. Oh, that's the devil's mark. You mean tell me some shit I was born with is a devil mark? Well, if that's the case, I have 2 fucking moles on me. I have one on my neck, I have one on my thigh, and I have 2 on my face. You know what I mean? Like, I'm born, and they go 333. Imagine that. So what the fuck does that mean? So I guess back then I would have been burnt on the stake just because of birthmarks. Like, a lot of it was ridiculous. And then after they would torture her, let's say they would start at her feet where all your nerves are, and you're sticking needles in like whatever devices they came up with to torture her. And they had these books out already, so of course the women can read and they know what they're looking for. So to be like, were you around the fire with the devil? Yes, I was. Who was with you? Samantha and Sue, who stay next door. Now they still gonna kill me, and they don't grab Samantha and Sue. And guess what Samantha and Sue gonna say? They're gonna say the same shit and bring some other people. So a lot of fucking women died because of motherfucking lies. And y'all probably know about the witch trials, the Salem witch trials. So a lot of fucking people died all because they were one with earth, and they knew how to heal. If that's the case, all the Indians would have fucking died. You know what I mean? They have bonfires. They know about the plants. You know, they're worshiping the elements. I guess all the witches would have died if this was more Americanized. I bet. And then what they would have did with the African people who do the same things with Mother Nature around the fire and one with earth and the deities and stuff. It's like you can't demonize something that is holy, that's pure. That's literally what they did. So because this woman has birthmarks, because she knows how to properly midwife a baby or nurse somebody back to health using earth and the elements, she's a witch and she's going to die. That's nothing but fucking knowledge. And you're idiotic if you think that's okay to do. Now, there's good and evil with everything. Now, if you are around here kidnapping babies for whatever fucking spell you're trying to do, that's not okay. I draw the line there. Everybody should have free will, and if you have to harm something else for your benefit, that's selfish as fuck. And maybe you shouldn't get the benefit of that because you had to harm somebody, which again is why I'm against meat. So because I want a hamburger, that baby cow gotta die. To me, that's selfish as fuck. Now, I will say, if I had a farm and I raised that cow, and it's having babies now, because that's what they do, and we're having this big old feast, and we want to kill one of them and have that meat for years, if not a whole year. I'm pretty sure that meat could last a year. I still think that's better. I mean, it's still bad, but that's better than what we do. To me, slavery has now become animal slavery. If you guys get a chance, please read the animal book, because I remember reading that in middle school. And ever since I was a little girl, I always had this battle with meat. And I finally won. Like, I could care less for the shit. Y'all can have it. But if I had a farm, I'm pretty sure I would, because I care. And a lot of other cultures, they care for these animals. And when they kill it, just like the Indians or Native Americans, I should say, they pray for it. They honor it. They thank it for its life, and then they kill it. What we do, them bitches lined up in cages, just like slavery, and they flip that shit over and slice its neck. It's crying the whole time. It's a straight path that it can't turn left or right. It can only walk forward. Like, whoever even built this shit, whoever built slaughterhouses is evil as fuck. Whoever worked there is evil as fuck. And the people that buy it, you're just as guilty because you didn't see the cow die in a slaughterhouse. You just see the pretty meat packages in the store, so you feel less guilty. To me, if you can look at a slaughterhouse video and eat a burger, by all means continue to eat it, because that didn't bother your consciousness. But if it does, your consciousness doesn't agree with it, and you're not in alignment with your consciousness. That's all. You're on two different pages. So your consciousness is like, oh no, turn it off. But your body's like, let me get a burger. You have to be on the same page. So if you could look at that and be like, let me go get a burger, at least you're one. Go ahead, live your life. But if you're torn, something in you is telling you that that's not right. You're just not following it. I decided to follow it. I don't necessarily need it, but at the end of the day, if it comes down to like survival, like if all this internet and all this shit, break down and we go back to living in the wilderness, then yes, that's how I need to survive. If I have to go, capture a bunny and eat it. But I don't have a whole bunny fucking farm. I had to actually hunt for that shit. And I respect that more. People that hunt deer, at least you went out and got your food. That deer lived a healthy life until you killed it. These chickens, pigs, cows, turkey, they don't have what is normal. Have you seen a wild turkey, pig, chicken, cow? No, because they don't know what wild is. They don't know their history, just like us. We don't even know our history. We have to discover what it is. But that's a whole nother podcast, and I'm so sorry, y'all, because that went way off from Hereditary. So let's see. We have a hedge witch, not one conscious of a head witch, a solitary practitioner of herbal arts, medical, and spirituality. No two head witches are alike. The doctor of the village, always lived in the forest in the old days. Deep respect and love for nature. Communicates with the spirits. Often shamans, healers, or charmers. Usually hereditary or passed down. Related to the hereditary witch, earth witch, and the green witch. I think this is how witchcraft started, and they killed them. The doctor of the village. That's the most powerful one. Just like doctors now, don't they make the most money? Oh, okay. So from just knowing this stuff, now you got to go get a certificate. That stuff was passed down to them. They didn't have no doctorate degree to be healing and stuff. Like, society has changed for the worse. You have to have degrees for things that were given to you spiritually. It's so sad. Okay, so that was the hedge witch. Let me see what time we're looking at. Almost done, guys. So we already did Earth. Fairy witch. I can't wait to look into this. Communicates and works with fairies. They leave offerings for the fairies. They enjoy plants such as rosemary and thyme. They study the fae and spirit lore. They usually believe in mythological creatures. They create fairy gardens and attract them. They enjoy nature. They enjoy forests and waterfalls. They enjoy working with crystals. They're environmentally friendly. They're skilled on properly approaching the fae, as they can be quite tricky. I'm so super, super excited to dig into that one a little more. Like, I always loved Tinkerbell. Didn't know why. I've always loved like unicorns and everything mythical. I never felt like it was fake. I just felt like maybe it was another veil that people couldn't see. So just imagine if I talk to dead people and I try to tell somebody like, yeah, he's standing right there, like the Sixth Sense. The man didn't even know he was dead himself. But every time he come around, it would be cold. Like, that's a sign, like, nigga, it wasn't cold till you came around. Like, so to me, fairy and different things like that, like, maybe everybody just can't see them. You know what I mean? And what an honor that you can see them. And don't tell me that it's make-believe or it's not real just because you can't. No, nigga, you just can't see it. That's all. And a lot of them people in the crazy house, they probably aren't crazy. They probably don't want their knowledge to be spread or known. And so they just lock them away. I don't want to give anybody that power over me. Hell no. Do you know if your spouse gets a little crazy, you can lock them up? You can Baker act them? I don't even think I want to be married for that fact. Like, You have the power to do what now? Nigga, what? Okay, so crystal witch. They work with stones and crystals. They practice crystal healing. They usually are interested in Reiki and energy work. They channel chakra balance. They meditate frequently. They enjoy working with the moon. They cleanse their crystals regularly. They have books full of crystal properties. They use crystal balls to scry. I have a crystal ball in my Amazon cart, y'all. A branch of green witchcraft. Subcategories: a rock witch or earth witch. Oh my God. We have a sea witch. They love being by any body of water. They work with large bodies of water. They practice water-based magic and worship. They use seashells, bones, seaweeds, beach sand, etc. They work with sea deities, mermaids. They are in tune with the moon cycles. They enjoy thunderstorms. They work with a ton of salt. They feel relaxed when they're at the beach. They love lots of bath rituals. Subcategories: an ice witch and a water witch. So we have a kitchen witch. They love cooking and baking. They love working in the kitchen and at home. Herbs and spices always. They are very family oriented, the caregiver. They try to buy local, organic, and in season. They have veggies, fruits, and herb garden. They make herbal remedies and potions. Loving and maternal instincts. They infuse magic and intent into every meal. They incorporate magic into housekeeping. Subcategories: a hearth witch and a cottage witch. And a green witch. They love nature, the earth. They work with trees, herbs, plants, and flowers. They usually enjoy hiking, trail walking. They're skilled herbalists. They make herbal remedies. They enjoy gardening, wildcrafting. They love animals and wildfire. They're environmentally friendly. They're attuned with Earth's spiritual cycles, and they have an apothecary full of herbs, roots, oils, and they can have interest in the fae. The subcategories are a garden witch and a floral witch. This is so awesome. And remember I told you I was going to go over the movies? So I'm so excited. This is the movie list. Movies about witches. Feeling in a slump, my favorite thing to do is to watch movies related to the craft. Whether it be horror, thriller, or comedy, it always puts me in a better mood, and it brings out my witchy side again. Hocus Pocus, The Sword and the Stone, Practical Magic, The Craft, Kiki's Delivery Service, The Witches of Eastwick, Rosemary's Baby, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, I Married a Witch, The Blair Witch Project. Now, I remember the Blair Witch Project was so scary to me. I wasn't ready for that. And I don't think, I keep seeing Kiki's pop up. I think it's like an anime, so I may want to look into that. Harry Potter was amazing. The Witches of Eastwick was good. And I want to look at the rest. Or was it Hocus Pocus? I might be mixing up those two. The one I'm thinking of, it was 3 women and they were all in love with this one guy. And they all had a baby at the end. One had orange hair, black hair, and blonde hair. But, yeah. And I don't want you to get too tied up with names. Like, names will have you all over the place. So, oh, remember I was telling you it's different tools that you put on your altar? She got on her page. So, look. Ritual tools. A cauldron. It's a cast iron, rounded, and has 3 legs. You fill it with water to use for scouring. It represents fire or the water element. The heat, because it's hot, put it in a safe area so you can burn items. Sacred symbol of the goddess. Make brews and potions. Collect moon and rainwater. Burn herbal incense or a charcoal disc. It can hold large candles to burn for spell work. Makes brews such as oils, herbal mixtures, and incense. It could be used to burn incense, and it ranges in size from palm size to huge. Cauldrons are a versatile tool for every witch. They are a great item to include on the altar to represent a water or fire element. Cauldrons are a little more difficult to come across, but you can buy them in most occult stores or online for around $20 for a small altar-sized one. They are great for burning anything such as herbs, incense, candles, and spell work like papers or petitions. And then we have a thane. A thame is essentially a fancy ritual knife used in witchcraft to direct energy, like casting a circle, cut doors, and energetic ties. It should never be used to cut anything on our physical plane. Is definitely less popular of an altar item because a knife can be very expensive. If you want one but can't afford it, find a normal knife and use it for the purpose of magic only. Okay, and then we have besom. A besom, or simpler term, the broom, is a classic symbol of a witch. A besom can be handmade by a witch of any twig, trees, plants, or grass. It's used to keep on or beside an altar to sweep away energetic clutter, bad vibes, and negative energy. You don't actually sweep by touching the twigs on the floor, but you keep it a few inches up and sweep the energy away. It's great to sweep after a ritual to rid the area of residual energies lingering around. Now, where do we get the fucking broom from, y'all? And where do we get the broom from? And we physically sweeping the floor. It's a whole spiritual element to that. Anyways, bell. A ritual bell is used in a plethora of different ways depending on the practitioner. A high-pitched tone of a ringing bell rids negative energy and bad spirits. It can be rung to mark the start or end of a ritual or transition to the next part of a ritual. It can be used once the circle is cast to seal the energy, or used once the circle casting is complete to dispense the ritual energy. It can be used to invoke deities, elements, ancestors, spirits, animals, and more. Plus, bells are super affordable. You can use any type of bell in your spell word, even a jingle bell, if that's all you have at home. I have a bell at my altar, and I chime it to give my ancestors honor. So we have a chalice is a fancy word used for a ritual cup or goblet. It's used to hold liquids such as wine, ale, water, any alcohol beverage, juice, or herbal teas. It holds these liquids as an offering to the gods, goddesses, and ancestors, spirit animals, angels, or whomever you work with. It's meant to solely be used for rituals and spell work and should never be used as a daily cup or put in the dishwasher. I would not recommend drinking from the chalice because some may have toxic metals. Always research where you buy them from. You can always go buy a cheap wine glass and use that. Avoid plastic. So this picture, it looks silver, and back in the day, silver had a lot of antibacterial properties. And I don't know why we just switched to this plastic world, but we should go back to more natural earth things. Candles, probably one of the most popular ritual tools to exist. They are cheap and they come in a plethora of shapes and sizes and colors. Witches use candles in almost every spell work to create intent and send a spell into the universe. They can be used to represent all the elements on your altar by putting each color in each direction. They can represent the god and goddesses by getting 2 candles and carving into them. They are versatile and a must-have. You can dress the candles with herbs, oils, and powders to create spell candles with specific intentions. Okay, this is a censer and incense. A censer is a fancy name for an incense burner, usually made of brass metal. It has many different styles and shapes. The common one is a chain, so you can walk around and smoke scents. Burn a charcoal disc and smolder herbs, oils, resin, or gum for spells and rituals. Incense in all forms, sticks, cone, and powder, can be personalized and comes in a variety of scents for spell work, mainly used to cleanse, purify, and manifest spell work intent into the universe. And we have an altar cloth. An altar cloth is a base of setting up your altar. It helps protect the surface of the altar, table, dresser box from wax dripping, water spills, oil drips, herbs, and incense. It keeps energy grounded and centered and stable. They come in plenty of patterns and colors, and you can decorate according to your altar theme. The wand is very similar to the thame, but it's more gentle and soft way to direct, encourage, and invite energy to flow. It can come in many different woods and crystals to fit your personality. They are a great way to cast circles and draw symbols in the air and the ground. You use crystal wands to stir herbal mixtures, salt sprues, and carve symbols into candles for spell work. Oh my God, I'm ready to do my altar. Where am I gonna put it? I'm probably gonna put my altar in my room. I sure am. I can't wait to do my spells and tell y'all how they work. I'm so super excited. So please check her out, Witchy Tips on Instagram. And we have run out of time. I hope you guys have enjoyed part 3 of Witch's book. Not trying to force anybody to change their religious views. Just hope you have an open mind and you learn something new. Sharing is caring. Don't forget, there's a truth in every lie and there's life in every truth. There's so much to learn about life. Nobody should ever have you in a box to where you're afraid to learn. If you truly, truly, truly believe in your faith, then learning something new should not rock your foundation. And if it does, maybe that's just proof that wasn't a foundation to begin with. It was so many podcasts that you guys could have clicked on, and you listened to this one for the 3rd time, because it's 3 series. So I do thank you so much for listening. I'm up to 2K listens now, so you guys are freaking amazing. Continue to listen as I learn something new and share. I'll start back having guests. I had stopped for a while. And what else? I guess that's it. I hope you guys have a better than great day. I love you so very much. Take care, and until next time, bye. Thanks a million for listening. You can reach me on all my other social media platforms by visiting my Linktree, which is luv.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.